Guys, we're back, and sorry about the little bit of a hiatus, but there's stuff that I have to deal with. This isn't my full-time job yet, so here we go. These are things that doctors may forget to tell you. It's important to recognize that this is just my experience. I have not had the best experience with doctors at all yet. Your experiences may be different. You might have something that's working for you. By all means, click out of here. This isn't your kind of video. This is for people that, like me, have had bad experiences. Maybe they don't know what they're coming into yet. It's just a little bit of an earworm to get you to start thinking. Maybe you're not hearing everything. So, first and foremost, nothing works overnight. And that's one of my biggest vices, is as soon as something doesn't work after a week of me trying it, I want to give up. Simply because I'm so tired of dealing with these problems. But if you stick with it, maybe it will help. My other biggest problem is that a doctor is really quick to tell me when a pill is going to make me lose weight. But they never mention when it's going to make me gain weight. And guess what they do? Really bad. You're going to hold water weight. You're going to get lazy. That's what they do sometimes. It's just important to monitor these things. Even if it is making you lose weight, you still have to monitor these things. We all know that with depression, sometimes you don't want to eat or you're overeating, and sometimes that causes the problem too. So when you're on medications that may levy your weight, it's really important to keep your monitoring. Sometimes they're going to make you worse. And that sucks. But it's important to make sure that you're letting people know how you're doing. That there's somebody there monitoring you outside of yourself. For me, it's my husband. And he knows when I'm in a good place. And he knows when I'm starting to get a little worse. But at the same time, I'm telling him things. So it's important to have communication while you're on your medication. It's almost a necessity. Because if something's going to start making you worse and you shut down, you're not going to get help. And sometimes these medications can start to physically affect you. The latest medication I was on was making me physically ill. I was throwing up. I was getting sick. I had a lot of anger issues on it, and that was insane. I'd never experienced anything like that before. I've been on ones that have made me tremor, which was bizarre, and sometimes they make me spaz. But the doctors never told me what to expect beyond the basics. So you might get a headache, you might get constipated. Duh. But I'm willing to look past that, but you need to tell me the big things. And some of these medications you have to be monitored on. Several of the medications I was on, as I was going through a period of switching on to a new one, you had to monitor me. You had to monitor my blood pressure, stuff like that, because of my family history. And because I was trading to a new medication, but they didn't bother with it. They just let me on my way. Luckily, I'm smart enough to look things up myself. And that's what we did. We went home, we looked it up, and I decided it was not for me, and I didn't take it. I still have a full bottle of it. And another thing, a lot of these you really have to watch your sugar and caffeine. A lot of them are uppers, especially if you have depression. They're bringing you up. And so when you're on these pills and you're constantly intaking sugar and caffeine, you're not helping the situation. All you're doing is increasing your anxiety. And I've learned that the hard way multiple times. Your biggest battle is going to be making sure that you take those medications every single day. There's going to be days where you wake up and you don't want to take them. And I get to that point all the time, to the point I'm not on anything right now because I was feeling that way so much. I did the number one taboo. do not stop taking your medications suddenly. Your doctor cannot keep you on any medications you do not want to be on. But you need to be taken off them safely. And I have stopped taking my medication suddenly twice. It's not fun. Don't do it. You get sick. Your mind gets worse than it's ever been until those medications are completely out of your system. And even then, they can leave you worse off than you were when you started. And that's something that I'm battling right now. And that's part of why we went on this 2-week hiatus. I was so bad. I'm bad now, but you learn coping mechanisms, and that's what I'm in the process of doing now. Always double check your medications. I've had times where I went into my doctor's office and told them, do not send me home with this medication. I've taken it. I know it doesn't work. Here's the problem. I know that medication is one name. They know it by another. I had one doctor send me home with a medication that I told her I would not take if she sent me home with it. I get to my pharmacy. Guess what I have? That medication. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let's see if it works with this concoction of medications that you're prescribing me. Maybe it will. It didn't, and I knew it wasn't going to, but I was willing to try. Needless to say, I stopped taking them. And I have a 4th bottle of the medication, which I don't need. But I have it because they keep giving it to me. So double check. If you know something doesn't work for it, advocate for yourself. Speak up. I know it's hard. And if you feel like you can't do it, let somebody else know and bring them with you. Let them speak on your behalf. Give them power of attorney, whatever you have to do. Don't be bullied by your doctors. It's important to know that if you don't feel respected by your doctor, leave. You hired them, not the other way around. You're paying them. I've had doctors that, after I've told them certain anecdotes about my past, I felt judged. So, needless to say, they got fired. And that's okay. Like I said, it's important to advocate for yourself. Don't be bullied. And that's my number one problem. I have not found a doctor that I didn't feel like I was being judged or bullied yet. And I hope to, but I'm not there yet. And the number one reason for making this video, there's treatments that they're not disclosing to you. And that blew our minds. We had no idea what we were missing out on. We thought that this mental illness science that was in its infancy stages still. And that's just not true at all. Matter of fact, there's been a treatment out there since 2008 that practically cures it with an 80% chance of perfection. And I cannot wait for you guys to see our next video on it. It's called TMS, and our minds got blown. So stay tuned, like our Facebook page. We have an Instagram. I'm working on Snapchat. Be patient with me. I don't understand it. If you have any suggestions for me, down in the comments below. Give us a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.